Someone well known thought you were gullible. Yes, sir. Let me say it louder. For my chosen ones in the back. Listen, family. Someone well known thought you were gullible. See, I need somebody to drop in the comments and say, don't let my innocence fool you. Yes, sir. Make sure you drop in the comments, family, and say, don't let my innocence fool you. See, what a lot of people may look at when it comes to yourself as innocence, naivete, being slow, really what they're looking at is a person who's reserved, who moves strategically, who's observant, moving with wisdom and intelligence, and to put on top of that, right, your politeness. In society, especially today, people think that since you are polite or kind, you're dumb. Listen, y'all, that's far off, all right? You're not gullible, okay? You are very well on point. Now, let me say this right here. What you mean well known, Reno? You got four levels of being well known. You have local. This is your city, okay? Surrounding cities. You got regional. This is your state, your province. You have national. This the whole country, all right? And then you have global, the entire world, okay? Now, I got a feeling I'm speaking to more people who's in the local slash regional area, but I'll never speak down on who you are. Maybe somebody well known nationally or globally thinks that you are gullible. All right. And matter of fact, y'all can drop in the comments local, regional, national, or global for whichever one goes with your situation. But what I want y'all to know is that this person who's well known, they thought you were gullible because of everything I just said, right? Now we're gonna get deeper, but I want to use this analogy right here. Y'all remember on the Source Awards when Andre 3000 was like, hey, y'all, the South got something to say, right? He was like, hey, y'all, the South got something to say. That's my little, what we call it, y'all, impression of Andre 3000, all right? Not the best. But anyway, the room was thick. You can feel the hate in the air. And I wasn't there, but I'm just listening to guys like Big Gip and, the Goody Mob and people who was there speak about it. And I'm listening to the interviews. They said it was thick in there, right? Not only was it East Coast versus West Coast, but they looking at the South like, what, man, y'all get out of here, man. And ever since that day, the South had the rap industry on lock, all right? Now, understand this right here, y'all. The well-known was the East Coast, right? We ain't never really had problems with the West Coast, but the well-known is going to be the East Coast. The gullible is going to be the South. Why is the South looked at as gullible? They're not as intellectually inclined. They move too slow. They don't know about big buildings. We move ahead of them, right? Family, that could not have been any further from the truth. You got some people from the South with a city spirit and will run circles around people from the city. Up north, up top, down below, don't matter. What are you saying right now, Reno? That's the same thing with yourself. Someone well known thought that you were gullible, maybe because you came from a background that they're not used to. Maybe because you have a certain level of respect about yourself and they are expecting you to move more conceited and arrogant. Somebody is looking down on you as if you are gullible because you simply was nice. This well-known person thought that you were gullible, and that could not have been any further from the truth. Does that make sense, y'all? Drop in the comments and let me know. Now, fam, we're going to go ahead and get directly into this video. But first thing is first, y'all make sure y'all leave a thumbs up on this video as well as subscribe to the channel. Y'all be sure to ring my bell so you can be notified after every single video I post. All right, we still right here in front of the legendary Great Couch, y'all. We broadcasting live for the second time on the Reno Speaks Life channel. We're going to get directly into it. Y'all already know what's going on. Number one, it's going to be this right here, fam. Most people fall for their popularity, all right? Most people fall for their popularity. So when it comes to a person who they see as gullible, they're like, oh, ain't no way they not going to fall to my feet. Ain't no way they not just gonna do anything and everything I tell them to do. Ain't no way they won't be able to follow my lead. No, we're not going for it. See, I don't care how many people you got following behind you. I don't care how many people you have jumping to your every move and your every aid. I don't care how many fans you got, how much money you make. I'm not. And so what I want y'all to understand is not only is this their ignorance, their personal ignorance, but this is a miscalculation of who you are. Yeah. Somebody drop in the comments and say, you must not know about me. Yes, sir. Make sure you drop in the comments, family, and say, you must not know about me. Yeah, see, just because they're well known, it doesn't mean that you won't be well known. Just because they're well known, it doesn't mean that you're willing to do any and everything that they're telling you to do. Just because they're well known, it doesn't mean if they say, hey, Johnny, jump off a bridge. It don't mean that you're going to jump off that bridge. You have a mind of your own. You have a purpose of your own. You know who you are, right? And this right here is the typical celebrity syndrome, by the way. All right, where they think everybody is going to open their doors, where they think that everybody is going to run to their aid, where they think that everybody knows who they are, where they think that the world revolves around them. You follow me? But the point of me even saying this, y'all, is that most people fall for their popularity, and they thought that you would fall for it too. All right, you ain't going. Number two, it's going to be this right here, fam. Lack of visible skepticism. All right. Lack of visible skepticism. So when you're not the person who shut things down immediately, unfortunately, y'all, in their minds, you take a hit for it, right? In their minds, you take a hit for it. See, you was like, yo, Reno, I was giving them the benefit of the doubt. Yo, Reno, I was just paying attention to them. Yo, Reno, I just gave them the time of the day. I gave them the benefit of the doubt. I understand that. But for some people, y'all, in this sick world, the fact that you're even allowing them to speak tells them in their mind, oh, this person gullible. I got me one. Yeah, I got me one. I'm about to sell this tablet to him. Oh, boy, I'm about to sell this TV to him. Hoo-hoo. I'm about to get them to buy this insurance. All right? They thought that since you didn't show a lack of visible skepticism, that you were an easy target. They wrong, okay? Family, if you take a person who just listen, even if a person is finessing and they know that, even if a person is trying to get over and they know that, if you listen, they like, who? They gave me their ear. So you know what? Let me work this. Yeah, let me work my one in there. Just because a person is listening and not showing a lack of visible skepticism, it doesn't mean that they're not skeptical internally. Does that make sense, y'all? Like, you're not the loud mouth that's like, I ain't finna buy that from you. I seen what you did the little charge last week. I ain't finna buy that refrigerator. Everybody is not loud. You know, everybody is not letting somebody know what their next move is. You just may be listening. And since they're well known, they think that you're going for it. No, I'm not going for it, right? I'm not going for it, okay? I'm just waiting to say no. I'm just waiting to say, I'll pass. I'm just waiting to say, no, but that's BS, all right? Just because you're not showing a lack of visible skepticism, somebody well-known thought that you were gullible. Does that make sense, y'all? Drop in the comments and let me know. Number three, it's going to be this right here, fam. High empathy, all right? You have high empathy. We speak about this a lot. I talk about empaths a lot. People who have empathy for individuals, sometimes, y'all, a lot of times, y'all, they play on this. What do you mean by this, Reno? When a person think they're getting over on a good person, hypothetically speaking, let's just say a man found him a good one, right? He got him a good woman. She allowed him to move into her home. She allowed him to go to school. She paid for it, got him the CDLs. Look at some women. Reno, she's stupid. But listen, y'all hear me out. She done nourished this man from a marriage, nurtured this man from a marriage, all right? And it's not that she was, vulnerable, and she was, not all the time. that she was vulnerable and she just wanted somebody. But what if she felt that on her spirit? God told her to do that. Who am I to say that she wrong? Who are you to say that she wrong, right? Same thing can be with a male. But what I'm saying is sometimes a person will invest into someone because they have a heart for them. Not because I need you in my life. I want somebody to hold me at night. I need somebody to call my man. Or I need a woman to call my woman. I need some nourishment and nurturing. Maybe I just want to help a person out. There are good people who exist, you know. What are you saying right now, Reno? That's that high empathy. So guess what? Sometimes men like this be like, well, I got me one. Yeah, you got you a real one. Real people do exist. But the quickest way to lose a good person is to disrespect them, mishandle them, and undervalue them. That's the quickest way to lose a good person. You would think that this person is dumb, right? No, they just have high empathy. And if you keep mishandling them, disrespecting them, all right, and undervaluing them, let's see how long you get with them. Let's see how long you have with them. That's you. So just because you have high empathy doesn't mean that you're gullible. You follow what I'm saying, y'all? Drop in the comments and let me know. You can be good to a person for only so long before you say, you know what, it's time for me to remove myself. I done loved past the expiration date. I done been your friend past the expiration date. You follow me, y'all? Drop in the comments and let me know. But number 4, it's gonna be this right here, fam. Modesty. All right? Modesty. Now, I know a lot of people are not big on modesty. I know a lot of people are not big on being noble or being humble. But family, not only did I come up that way, but being that I'm a grown man, I take care of myself, I feed myself, and I follow my own leadership outside of God, I'm still a huge advocate for being modest. Now, I do believe that there's a time to show your ego. I do believe there's a time to show your talent, which reverts back to ego to a degree. There's a time to be a little confident. And sometimes you got to go over the top, right? But there's also a great reward in being modest. Even the Bible says that the meek shall inherit the earth, right? The meek shall inherit the earth. So I'm going to always look at, modesty as being rewarding. Maybe it's not here on this earth, or maybe people on this earth won't understand it, right? But your Father in heaven will, right? The Most High will always send blessings down for being modest. So long story short, y'all, when you think about the person who look rich versus the person who actually is, one ain't really that modest. The other one may have some modesty on them. They understand something, right? Where there's humbleness, there's a reward. You follow me? The meek shall inherit the earth. I don't got to be Biggie Smalls. I don't got to be the next Elvis. All I got to do is be modest, and I'll always be blessed. Reno, what are you saying right now? The person who look rich ain't nothing modest about them. They loud, they talking loud, they walking loud, right? I'm not saying you can't have nice things. Don't get this twisted, y'all. You can. But most times, the person who's flexing and flogging and flaunting, this person ain't modest. And that's why they find themselves going through what the good old Lord said. He can give it and he can also take it, right? But anyway, y'all, being that you are humble, they thought that you were gullible. Number 5 is going to be this right here, fam. Strategic silence, all right? Strategic silence. So you ever notice when you go to uncomfortable places, you got 2 types of people. You got the person who go ahead and get up out of there. Actually, you got 3 types of people. You got the person who get up out of there. You got the person who get loud, right? It's like they see some action, they got to make themselves a part of the action. And then you got the person like yourself who gets silent. You pay attention, And it's nothing wrong with being both, being silent and getting up out of there. But you also pay attention to when it's time to get out of there. Does that make sense, y'all? Drop in the comments and let me know. When you are in uncomfortable places, situations around uncomfortable people, it's not to say you can't sit within discomfort, but when it's becoming a problem, detrimental, harmful, something that's clearly a threat, you understand to leave. But when you are in situations to where maybe there's a person who's not being who they said they was. Maybe there's some shady business going on at their job. Maybe there's someone or something that's not being the person or the being that they said that they were going to be. Regardless of whatever it is, you know how to strategically use your silence so the truth can reveal itself. Does that make sense, y'all? Drop in the comments and let me know. But when you're silent, some people think that that's the time to take advantage. No, that's actually the time to pay attention. But the point is, y'all, is that this is why that particular person who was well known thought you were gullible, okay? With that being said, fam, we're going to go ahead and do a recap and then we'll conclude this video. But number one, y'all, most people fall for their popularity. Number two, lack of visible skepticism. Number three, high empathy. Number four, modesty. And number five, y'all, strategic silence. Y'all be sure to get you a Yes Sir t-shirt, Yes Sir hoodie, book a one-on-one session with your boy, and you can check out any one of my books. Keep a rich mentality. Peace.